Hey crafty people, it's Tasha here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to carry on my adventures in foiling and I'm going to show you how I like to alcohol mark a colour over a foiled image. So I foiled the beautiful new Freesia hot foil plate from Altenew, and I just foiled that in some silver onto Nina £80 cardstock. And I've then grabbed out some of my Altenew artist markers. These are the ones that are the sugar plums colours. I will have the pack that they're from linked below, but I can't remember it off the top of my head, which is a shocker. So I'm sorry this is not the best view of how I'm colouring, how I'm adding that shade. Unfortunately, I think I need to turn the mount slightly on my camera mount, because the camera sort of seems to sit above my right hand and then I am blocking it off. So I'm just really easily colouring. I'm using the darkest marker to just add some shade at the very base of the petals, and anywhere that those petals sort of cross over each other. And then I'm working through the other three shades, just extending that shadow out a little bit until we get to the end of the petal, and by that point we are colouring with our lightest marker. Nothing too strenuous at all. I'm just using those four colours. If I struggle with any part of the blending, then I'm just using a bit of a tip to tip method, where I'm just basically borrowing some pigment from a darker marker, and that just helps to even that transition out a little bit. So I was getting a little bit confused there what part was supposed to be what, so I'm just showing you that I grabbed the packet out so that I can see exactly what each bit was, because I didn't want to make a mistake and ruin it now when I've already gone to all that trouble of doing the foiling, and I've already started colouring it. And I really did just do the exact same technique method on every single one of the petals. With these smaller little buds here, I did work on several petals all at the same time, whereas with the larger petals I will just work one at a time, because I don't want that ink to dry out before I've had chance to finish all of the colouring. Sometimes when you are colouring over the hot foil, you might leave a little bit of the pigment sitting on top of the foil, but that's not a problem. That's really easy to sort. All I do is I just finish colouring everything first. I don't worry about it whilst I'm still colouring the image in, and then once I've done, I will go back over any area where I want to remove that pigment from the foil, and just use a colourless blender marker to do that. You want to be careful you don't use too much of the marker, and you don't want to accidentally touch any of the petals, because that marker will start to push away the pigment, and it's going to ruin your, I was going to say hard work, but I honestly wouldn't say that this was hard colouring, but it's going to ruin all that effort and time that you've already put in. So just use the very tip of the marker to remove any of that pigment off the foil. I'm going to add some nice greens to my stem, and is it calyx? You know, the bit where like the stem meets the flower, the bit in between the I feel like that's a calyx, but is that just with like a rose where it's like a spiky one? I don't know what this would be. No, I don't know. But again, I'm just doing the same colouring methods, just adding a little bit of shadow wherever I think that there would be shadow, and blending it out through the different markers to give me a completely coloured image. As soon as I saw this freesia, I just knew I had to have it because I love freesias, and they are a flower close to mine and my family's heart. So I cut that image out with the die that you can get that coordinates with it, and just look how beautiful that is. So to finish this off, I decided to pop it up on some foam tape onto that background that I made in a previous video. Remember, I told you that that would make a reappearance. So I used that circle foiled background and just popped this freesia in. I didn't plan for it to fit that well there, but it really does, doesn't it? So I was really happy with that. I've got a sentiment that I actually stamped last month but didn't actually get around to using. This is from one of the mini sets that Altenew have, that I'd stamped in obsidian and die cut it. I added some little black enamel accents, and that's my card done. I love it. I love the foiling detail in the background, the fact that you've got the foiled flower, the colouring and colours of it, and that sentiment. I just think it all works really well together. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've ever tried colouring with alcohol markers on foil. You have a lovely, happy, safe and wonderful week. Stay crafty. Bye.